I've long believed that if you really want to learn something, teach it. Because in order to really know it, you have to crystallize it in your mind well enough to explain it to somebody else. So I bet I've gotten as much out of this as any one of you. This has been really good refreshment for me. And I want to jump right in to number 10 because I'm anxious to get you the information that I want you to have. Number 10 is you must stretch and behave your way to success, even if it feels phony, even if it feels like you're faking it until you make it. I mean, come on. When you go to the next level, whether it's a new job or a new level in your tennis league or reaching up to somebody that you think is out of your social strata, you're going to feel like you're over your head, right? I always only half jokingly say I married over my head. But if what you're doing is comfortable, if what you're doing is something you're good at, then that just means you're in a comfort zone. What if I said, okay, let's go back and do the fifth grade over again? You would say, well, why are we going to do that? Come on, Dr. Phil, I learned everything in the fifth grade. I must have because they sent me on to the sixth grade. So why would I do the fifth grade over again? I already know that. I would be very comfortable there, but why would I want to do it again? Well, let me ask you this. Why are you doing this year what you did last year? You already know how to do everything you did last year. So why are you doing the same damn thing again this year? You know why you're doing it? Because it's comfortable. We get into comfort zones, and so it's just easy. And as I've said before, days turn into weeks, weeks turn into months, months turn into years, and you look back and go, wow, I've spent 10 or 12 years doing the same thing over and over and over again. Number 10 in your playbook is you've got to stretch yourself. Don't do what you already know how to do. Stretch yourself to do something that maybe you don't know how to do. Now, you may feel like, hey, why would I do it? I don't know how to do it. You didn't know how to do what you did in the fifth grade until you got into the fifth grade and did it. Look, here's the deal. Everybody's winging it. Some of us are just better at not showing it than others. But everybody is winging it. That doesn't mean that you're being a fraud. It just means that you need to stretch yourself to learn something new. And maybe you're doing it day by day. Maybe you're one day ahead of everybody else. Maybe you get appointed to a position as team leader on your job or supervisor on your job, and you go, oh my God, I don't know any more than anybody else does, and all of a sudden I'm put in charge. Well, you know what you need to do? You need to spend that night figuring out one more thing than everybody else knows so you can go in there tomorrow and know something they don't know. And then that night, maybe you learn 3 more things. So you go in the second day and you know 4 things they don't know, then 5 things, then 6 things. And then pretty soon you start dealing with issues they don't have to deal with. And now you do have unique knowledge they don't have. Now, look, I'm talking about this in terms of parenting, working on a job, relationships, where you have to fake it till you make it. I'm not talking about doing that if you're a brain surgeon. If you're a brain surgeon, I'm not saying just show up down there at the brain surgery ward and say, yeah, I got this, and go in there and whack somebody's head open and start digging around. Of course not. Come on, have some common sense. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying show up down at American Airlines and say, no, I'm good. Put me in this A380 Airbus. I'm good. And take off and kill yourself and everybody on board. I'm talking about normal life. I'm talking about the things where you can be adept, where you can be agile, where you can make some moves and stretch yourself. Use your skills and abilities. Use your charm. Use your intellect. Use your ability to learn on the fly. Give yourself a chance to move to the next level. Listen, I know this because I've done it. When you move to the next level, the first thing you need to do is assess what your resources are. And I'll tell you, there's something in every situation, particularly if it's work related. There's what I call the old gray horse. There's somebody in every situation that's been there a long time, and they are the unofficial leader. Maybe they haven't aspired to the job. Maybe they don't have the credential that's required. Maybe you have to have a degree and they don't. Maybe there's something that's needed that they don't have, but they know everything that you need to know to make it work. It's the old gray horse or the old gray dog, whatever you want to find it. The one that's been there 20 years, they know where the lights are turned on. They know how to fix something when it's broke. They know how the system works. It's like in the military, you get some freshly minted second lieutenant out of college that hasn't got sense enough to come in out of the rain. Let me tell you, he or she leans real heavy on that chief master sergeant that's been there for 20 years that knows how not to get shot in the head. And if they're smart, they're going to go find him or her, and they're going to watch them real close to figure out what needs to be done to stay alive, what needs to be done to get those troops to do what they need them to do. They're going to find that old gray horse, that old gray dog that has learned from experience what to do and lean on them real heavy. And I have always done that. I have the unique skill of getting these gigs where somebody does all the work and I get all the credit. Dr. Phil is a perfect example of that. There are 350 people on the payroll at Dr. Phil, but one guy walks out on that stage and gets all the credit. But yet there are 350 people behind that camera who help design the show, prepare each day's show, research everything about the guest, figure out all the graphics that show and tell the stories well, shoot all the videos, edit all the videos, get everything organized, run the cameras, run the audio, edit everything together at the end, get it up on the satellite. I don't even know where the satellite is. I don't even know what room you go to, what button you push. I just have to stand on the top of the roof with a megaphone, I guess, and yell. There are so many people that do those things. I surround myself with people that are really smart, really good at what they do. So if you're going to stretch yourself, surround yourself with people that are really vertically developed in one area. Maybe there are 5 different elements to this job that you're getting pushed into or that you've aspired to, and there are 5 people that are really good in that one area. They might not know anything about the other 4, but that's okay because you got 4 other people that know those areas. And you are like the orchestra leader. You are the one that comes in, and you're not going to tell everybody, but you don't know how to do all this stuff, but you're going to surround yourself with the people who do, and you're going to learn from them every day, and you're going to be a leader. You don't have to do everything. You just have to make sure everything gets done. You remember me saying you have to learn how to accept compliments. Learn how to accept compliments and praise. I just get so tired of people that have this self-degrading, not self-effacing, but self-degrading attitude where they hold themselves back and say, oh, thank you for offering the position, but I really don't know enough about it to run that. Are you kidding me? You know what's going to happen if you turn it down? They're going to go get somebody else who doesn't know enough about it to run it. And they're going to give it to that person because they just didn't admit that they don't know enough about it to run it. So somebody that probably doesn't know as much about it as you do is going to get the job you turned down because you didn't have enough guts to stretch. You need to be willing to stretch and get yourself into the position that takes you to the next level in life. Socially, career-wise, sports-wise, whatever it is. Look, we were all somebody else yesterday. Think about it. Unless you're really stagnated, and I mean really stagnated, we were all somebody else yesterday, right? Something happened in your life. A day went by. Maybe you saw something on television that embedded in your memory, changed your attitude. Maybe you watched a movie that inspired you to go spend some time with your children or something. I don't know. We're all somebody yesterday, and we'll be somebody else tomorrow. What I want you to do is be who you are on purpose, which means stretch into the next best you. Don't just be that leaf in the stream that we've talked about. Take a direction, do something, right? And when we're talking about a work situation, there's a difference between headship and leadership, and I'll tell you what it is. Headship is when somebody has a position because they are assigned it. There's 20 people there, and the boss comes in and says, number 7, you're the supervisor. But number 7 may not know anything that the other people don't, but they've just been assigned the position. That's headship. Leadership, on the other hand, is achieved. Leadership is that position that someone has gained because they've gotten the respect of the people they work with. People have watched what they do and said, this person knows how to get the job done. This person knows how to get things going. So when it gets crunch time, do you think they turn to the assigned supervisor? Or do you think they turn to the person that they have experienced as always getting things done? It can be different in different situations. In my career, I am the leader. I star in my own life, I star in my own show, and I believe that I have earned the respect of the people that I work with. They look to me as the leader. I play tennis a lot, and I play a lot of doubles. When I step on the court, if the person I'm playing with is better than I am, which is almost always true, I look at them and say, where do you want me? You want me here? You want me there? Because in that situation, they're the leader, not me. They've demonstrated that they have a higher degree of competency, a higher degree of excellence, a higher degree of what they do in that situation than I have. So I'm the leader among leaders, in my opinion, but it's situation specific. On the tennis court, I'm not the leader. On the tennis court, someone else that has earned that right is the leader. And so I step, you want me forehand or backhand? You want me to serve? You're going to serve. You're the leader. You're the captain here. What are we going to do? You have to step up and stretch yourself into leadership.